So we'll return to the main thing we have in the studio this morning. And as I said, this public transport system needs to step up. That's what we have as our point of discussion this morning. And I have a guest. And he's a guest that is, I must say, a special guest on my program, because when he goes, he brings it up from the very root of where it is, and we handle it well. He's good at helping me dissect any matter we bring in here. And so this day, I'm talking about Richard Oriri. You're welcome, sir.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, Richard is a public analyst, and I must say he's a public affairs analyst, and I must say he's also a journalist. So we thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Our topic for the day is something that we need to talk about. You see, looking at the transport system the way it is, people are now relying on that more than any other thing as a result of the problem of getting to find PMS. You know, the supply is not easy. It's difficult to get it these days. Yet it is still very expensive, and we were thinking that as it's obtained in foreign other climes, you see that when you talk about public transport system or transportation system, anyone you like, you see that it works out that the government puts facilities in perfect order for people to come in, that they don't even have much need to make use of their own vehicles in most cases. It's on rare cases. But here in our country, the reverse is the case. What do you think about this, sir, and how can we handle it?
Thank you very much. This shows that we are now looking inward to see how our problems will be resolved internally.
Yes.
The issue of a public transport system and every other public utilities is, you can see that when government is about the people. And when we were growing up in the 80s, we grew up to meet some public transport system.
Yes.
And in those days, we have what we called NITEL. We have what we call night post. In those days, when there were no GSM and all of that, we used to write a letter from our villages and send to our people everywhere. Go to Otukpo,
yes,
the nearest town where you can see night post.
Okay, where you can see a post office.
Post office. Then you post a letter to your brother either in Lagos or any part of the country. That was done to ease communication. That was done in place. Those infrastructures were there to help the poor masses. In those days, we have what we call Benue links. Like in Benue State, we have Benue links. In 2001, the last time I visit Adamawa State, I uses. You used there? Yes, I used the Adamawa Sunshine or some one public transport like that from Adamawa State and to Abuja. And if you go to Bonu, you see Bonu line. Yes. Ebonyi State, you see Ebo Trans.
Anambra,
Enugu,
we had trans.
Etraco.
We had trans something in Enugu.
But today, because of this Western ideology of not allowing government in Africa generally to channel resources to subsidize some of these things for the public to use, for the poor masses to use, is the reason we are where we are. And in international relations, we call it capitalist diplomacy. And capitalist diplomacy and dollar diplomacy, they are using that idea to see how the capitalists who are now called, we call them now foreign direct investors, the investors coming into Nigeria, to the country, to see how their business will run smoothly without any friction between them and the public goods. So now, in the advanced countries that you rightly mentioned, you see that the government that is thinking about the people, they set up such channel whereby as a civil servant, you will make judicious use of your salary. If you are entering public transport, there will be no need for you to use your private car to your office, whereby your salary will be depleted at the end of the month. Because in using your personal car to your office, you will from your salary to be buying fuel and giving serious proper maintenance to your vehicle. But if you are using public transport system where the price is subsidized, there is no how you will not meet up with other challenges when you receive your salary. But when it comes to us, to our climb here in Nigeria, the case is different. Now most public transport system in this country, if you go to like Ebo Trans now, even Benue Links, most of the vehicles you see using that name, NTRACO, like Enugu Transport Company.
Yeah.
Individuals now buy these vehicles. The only thing that has made them to say, let me go and register with this company, is just for them not to be paying taxes after you are crossing the boundary of your state. Once you are crossing the boundary of your state, you will pay tax. But if you have that plate number or that name, NTRACO or Benue Links, you are free from paying any further tax. So that is the only, but the prices is determined by the individuals who own the buses registered under these companies. Now, government have to step up by, that is to say, we are now trying to advise government to go back to subsidy regime. Subsidy not just in the transport sector, subsidy even in the petroleum sector, subsidy in everywhere, in every angle. Once there is subsidy, there is no how, there will be no meaningful life for the poor masses. If there is no subsidy, if you are not subsidizing, the capitalist will capitalize on that and undo the masses. And that is what we are facing today.
Yes.
That is the challenge we are facing today. Yes. If government really want to be about it, if they really want to serve in the interest of the poor masses, they should take inward and think about our internal working governance mechanism, not in the direction of Western concept that is not good for us.
In actual fact, in this case, if they were to do this that they used to do, it's still in the direction of the Western concept, but it is good for us.
It is very...
because I remember as we were talking about this thing, that there was NTRACO, yes, in Enugu Transport Company. Then there was this, at a stage, we found out that even a local government developed its own. That is Onitsha South Transport Company.
Yes.
You know, so and it was making money for the local government.
Yeah,
so now that we are returning to local government system effectively, I mean, let the local government chairman and the people that work with them
set up transport department.
Yes, invest in such things because they will make money and they will also help the people they are serving. Because it will be a double, a win-win affair, you know, because the fact that they have spent money to buy these vehicles, they will also get their recoup and even buy more. And the people will be happy that they are entering their vehicles and that it's not
too exorbitant. Too exorbitant.
Yes, that it's at a manageable rate. So it will help. You see, looking at this thing, I remember that also in Anambra, under Peter Obi, there was a time, before Peter Obi came into Anambra, there was, of course, trackers, which had been going on. But when he eventually came in, he said, I'm not going to disturb trackers. Let it remain there. He started another one. I've forgotten the name of that one. Another transport company with other vehicles. And that one kept running side by side trackers. And the people enjoyed it because it was all for the people to enjoy.
Yes.
The people enjoyed the use of those vehicles.
If the capitalists put the price of their transportation, let's say from Lagos to Abuja now, for 70,000 naira, the public transport system will put their own, let's say 40,000.
Yes. It will help the
serious
people.
gap.
Yes.
And you see, there is no how you will not have you will not have customers.
Yes, there is no how you will
There's
not
no how
have.
you will not have
They will,
customers.
in fact, they
And
will
some
have
of
many more customers.
many more customers. If your vehicle, if you have a 20 vehicles, before, if your price is higher, maybe 5 or 3 will be loading from Lagos. But once the price is down, you see that the vehicles that will load from Lagos will be up more than 15.
All of them will load.
Because every other transport companies will be losing customers.
Yes.
Because your price
one
is
thing
lower.
again is that these other transport companies may not load until these ones will finish.
Will finish.
Because, I mean, who will see is still a very comfortable ride. So who will see this at this cost and go to the other one to go and collect and pay?
Revenue generation,
huge revenue
generation angle. So government, just like you said, government have to think in world, not just come in. Like you made mention of a local government.
Yes.
Local government can capitalize on this. And create that department, the transport department, and that would really help our local communities. It will really help our local communities, because right now, the other day, from Onubogu to my village, on bike, 15,000 naira. If you have a transport system from the local government, even to Onubogu, there's no, once you land in Onubogu and you don't have your personal vehicle, the best you do is to go to the park. And
if someone like you that paid 15,000 to the bike will see this and they'll say pay 5,000, you gladly pay the 5,000.
Even till midnight, you still have passengers.
Oh God.
You still have passengers. Government have to think inward and see how they will revive, they will reactivate this transport system, public transport system in Nigeria from federal. Before we have Nigerian Air.
Yes.
Today, there's no Nigerian Air.
That's talking about the airlines. Let's finish. Let's even finish with the land. Look at Lagos. You know, in Lagos, they at a stage started this mass transit system of transport in Lagos road, and it's still working up to today in Lagos. It's still working, and it's always subsidized. The price is low. People will, it always has passengers. It's still working up to today. But at a stage, we saw such a thing, something that looks slightly like it, but not entirely like it, in Abuja, in the FCT. We had such vehicles. I mean, talking about the luxury buses.
The luxury, okay, yes.
Yes. And we had some of them here.
Traco.
Yes, we had some of them under the I forgot the name of this man now.
El-Rufai.
Under the El-Rufai administration.
El-Rufai boss.
Yes, it worked well. It worked well.
Very serious, perfectly.
Yes, after that, when he left, we started seeing them being parked at their garages everywhere. And we keep wondering, what would these things be doing here? They are still parked in many garages in Abuja up to today.
Very well.
Why can't the government that is, let's say, government in power now, or the Minister for Transport, go and look into all these things and see what can be done to revive these vehicles, refurbish them, and put them back on the road, so that we can still continue with that kind of means of transport in Abuja, in the FCT. We had one. We had the one that will move from Maraba. What do you call it?
That park now, they have turned it to Plaza.
Yes. Then from there, that one will come to the city center. We had the one that will come from Gwagwalada, and it will move that way, picking on that line till it got to here.
Kubwa.
The one came from Buhari and from Kubwa. I know that kind of
Suleja.
thing. So you have people from different areas, and everybody enjoyed it. I don't know why they didn't let it last. And now that even the current administration, the minister was talking about building parks. What do you call it? A park, yes, or something like that for vehicles. I hope he will also be thinking that park should not just be for public transporters alone. Let this one be put in order, the government vehicles, so that these will be their terminals, because it's terminals that he's talking about. That is very big parks that they are building. We've seen one that is in Kubo area, and another one is in another area, and all that. They are putting money in it and trying to build. But after, when
there's one in Mabuchi as well.
Yes, in Mabuchi. Then when you have these things, while they are still constructing these terminals, why not help also to put some vehicles in order, the government vehicles, big luxury buses like that, that would also be serving the people, that will also be making use of these terminals. It's not just enough to get a terminal. Let there be a bus system that will make it work.
I pray, just like you said, they have such plans.
Yes.
So that as the construction of these terminals is going on,
yes.
the best thing then to do is to look at it from the angle of whether they are to buy buses,
yes,
which will be managed by FCTA.
Yes.
Then they should equally recruit now and be training these drivers.
Yes.
You give the drivers a proper training so that the moment the terminals are in place, there will be no need going to say fire brigade approach.
Yes.
Where are vehicles, who are going to be the drivers, this management, that they should make arrangement for such things.
Work on all those things right
they
now.
They will start one phase.
Yes, I remember that the minister fired, let me use the word fired, the one that was there before, the man in charge of transport. He said he didn't do anything, he didn't see anything he did. And everybody applauded him for doing that, because honestly, nobody saw what that man did, the mandate secretary in charge of transport. So I hope that the new one there now is doing something, because we are yet to see anything yet.
Yes.
We are yet to see
There's
anything.
nothing on ground.
We are yet to see anything.
Apart from these terminals that are going on.
Let him do something that will work. Let's also take a look at Lagos the more. You see, in Lagos, they have gone a step ahead. Lagos, that's one thing beautiful about Lagos, you know. Lagos, they have gone a step, in fact, 2 steps ahead even, because Lagos right now, when we're talking about public transport system, Lagos has gone on with the Blue Rail, the railway lines that will carry people all across Lagos. And they constructed these rail lines all across Lagos that will be taking people from one side to the other, so as to ease transport, and their goods. You know one thing, at a very, 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 very minimal rate. That's what they're doing in Lagos right now.
Very good.
And they're even talking about not only blue rails, they're talking about the red rails too. And those things are working. Now, it doesn't end there. I mean, even the last one was commissioned last week. And look at that same Lagos. They have also started the transport, water transport. They have what do you call them now? They have the boats and beautiful ones for that matter, and that carry people. You see, people will be in these vehicles, because they are still vehicles, means of transport, and people will enjoy getting in there to transport themselves because of the fact that it is beautiful and is working. They are maintaining it, making it look big, look good, look attractive. Yet, because it's under the government, being well maintained, it's not expensive. It's making life better and easier for people in Lagos. We can still achieve such things in other areas.
Like Abuja here,
yes,
more especially.
In the FCT, like even the light rails, the one in Abuja. It was worked on, and the minister commissioned it, brought the president to commission it, because he said that the president wanted to commission it within 1 year. Yes, it was done. In this, their first year program they had, yes. He did. And even asked that the transport that was that is in that thing be kept for they had earlier said 3 months, but even extended it to 6 months, which is beautiful. But the point is, it's still on now because they said for 6 months. But the point is, if it is so, how many people are using it now in Abuja? That's the point. Because of the route where it is going, there are very few people that can make use of it. And so right now, people are making use of it, but very, very minimal. Let the government think again. That line that they have built, let them get another one, construct another one that could move from another route to that one point, and another route again to that point. The way the land lines went for the transporters then, the federal, for the big buses for the federal government, let them do same for railway lines. If it happens, I mean, it will help us a whole lot to reduce all these things.
The major problem Abuja residents are facing is transport.
Transport, yes, transport.
Transport.
You want to go and get fuel for your vehicle, and you're paying 1,200, 1,500, 1,300.
Most people have parked their vehicles.
So how would you continue? It's
and no public transport system.
Yes, and the ones that are, even the few ones that are there, are over-labored because people are everywhere looking for vehicles to enter. And now that is even getting more difficult. So the price you pay to enter a vehicle,
I think Wike would do something about it, because he's a national minister.
I just hope he
does. Do something about
because these are things we need to think about.
And Lagos State Governor is his friend. He can even send the transport director from FCT to go to Lagos and see what they are doing.
Study them and
learn and study what is going on in Lagos. Then come and establish the same thing here in Abuja.
We need to have, something that will give us some joy in our country. What is more, Abuja is supposed to be, or is seen as the fastest developing capital in the world.
In Africa.
And, in Africa. And even as it is so, let's keep beautifying it. Because, yes, Abuja has been made beautiful.
But we need strong infrastructure.
Infrastructure is what will make it better.
Yes, it's doing well. When you go to the road aspect, the minister is doing well. But there are still other infrastructure that we need, like the transport system.
The transport system that will be on that road that has been constructed.
Then public health system too.
These are part of
the especially community health centers within the FCT.
Now, talking about that same health system, we need to also think of it as it concerns the topic of the day, public transport reforms system. They can also do a reform that for all these big buses, these what do you call them now? The excess, luxury buses, that there would also be a means of providing health for those who are in that vehicle. You know, let there be a little first aid box and a nurse that will be there to help administer health to the people, health drugs and the needed things to people who will be in the vehicle. Even if it's to check, what do you call it, the blood pressure of the people that
even if it's not in the vehicle,
yes,
at the park, this terminus is building, they should create a session where such thing will be.
People will check and
immediately
go.
Once you are not feeling too okay, they take you to that department. So you take treatment and go.
As someone would say, it is not rocket science. It's just that our leaders are not thinking.
It's political will.
Yes, people are not thinking about this, and all of them, they travel abroad. Most of them that travel abroad, it is this same public transport that takes them all around. They are using. And they are not. They've always even sat down and taken pictures and sent to their people. But you can't do it in your place. How did I know that they're doing it? I've been seeing their pictures. You know, they'll go there and take pictures and send. But you enjoy it. But you can't come and get it done in your own country. Since you have the power, since you are in authority, you need to put such things in place in our own home. That's the important thing we need to do. That's for the land one we've talked about. We're going to return to the other one, but right away, let's take a break just for a minute, and we'll return to face the other side of the story. We're still on the program, The Economy Today. For being there for us, we're glad that you're still watching it, and we need to continue. I still have my guest, Richard Oriri, public affairs analyst, with me, and we are analyzing this one that's a public affair. So, Richard, you had the other side of the story that you mentioned, and I said, let's keep it till we return. So let's talk about it now. The air one you talked about.
Nigeria
Air. Yes, Nigeria
Just
Air.
like we talked about land transport system, the airspace too, now from Abuja to Lagos is around 300,000 naira.
Yes.
And when Nigeria Air was there, if we have Nigeria Air now, most of this private air business, there's no Nigerians who patronize them like the way they will patronize Nigeria Air.
Yes.
So we have to talk to the Minister of Aviation
and the Minister of State,
Barrister.
The young man.
What is the?
I was going to remember as we go on. We'll remember his name to mention it. Yes, yes.
We have to talk to him, to plead with him to revive Nigeria Air. Yes, the former minister, the immediate past minister, he did something, but it was a scam.
The current one is
the current one is Festus Keyamo, yes. The immediate past minister, he did something, but it was we just discovered now that it was a scam.
Yes, yes.
It was a scam.
Everything was to be run by Ethiopia, and even when there will be trouble, it is Nigeria that will take care of the trouble. And everything, almost nothing for Nigeria.
So Festus Keyamo have to revive it. Nigeria Air, we need Nigerians, need Nigeria Air. If we have Nigeria Air, it will help Nigerians a lot. Most people now can't go on air again because of the transport. The transport, the amount they are paying from Abuja to Lagos now is too high.
Yes.
And if we have Nigeria Air, possibly it might not even be up to 100,000 naira because it will be subsidized. They should be doing some of these things to see that Nigerians are feeling the fresh air of the government. Because if such public utilities, facilities, they are not there for the Nigerian masses to use, there's no how we will have a meaningful life.
You're correct.
Truly.
You're correct. And, you know, when you talk about people being rich, you see, wealth, especially talking about financial wealth, because there are we have spiritual wealth, we have other forms of wealth, but financial wealth, talking about fiscal wealth, having money, you see that if this kind of system is put in place, that is a public transport, both in air, on land, sea, and in the sea. When you do this, you enable people to have some money in their reserves, in their banks, and in their pockets, so that they can return to taking care of their homes the way they ought to. Because many people cannot take good care of their homes anymore. As a result of this kind of problem, that even when someone has a, let me give an instance of someone that has say 40,000 naira in his pocket, and he wants to go about and do things, and then he notices that the fuel in his vehicle is gone, and he drives into a filling station, and he says, give me 20 liters. You see that money will not be there again by the time he will leave the filling station. At all. So he becomes empty. Yeah, exactly. As a result of the fact that there is a lot you need to do, and there is little to use to do it. So if these things that we have just discussed are put in place, you see, the people will be freer. They will have more fun to spend. They will have better things to do. And taking care of their homes would also be, let me say, more beautiful. You know, fathers will have reason to buy things for their children.
I know many Nigerians who are in the public, private sector that have resigned from their job.
I know
as a result of transport
problem. One lives in the same compound with me. I know that one, a young lady. And when she, because of this increase, when she checked what it would cost her to go to work and come back every day, she said...
And what she takes home at the end of the month.
She said that at the end of the day, she will have almost 2 naira. So, not talking about feeding, just only for transport. She had to resign. She had to resign, because if you're there and doing that thing, people outside will be saying, this person is working. Your people at home will be saying you're working. They send money. Where would you send the money from?
Where is the money?
So, but now that she had to pack up, she had to let it be and start looking for something else, you know, that she could
closer to her,
around her, that she could be working on and doing something. So it's like that.
It's terrible.
It's like that. Still talking about this air transport matter. You see, this company, you know, we have Ibom Air from Akwa Ibom State.
Yes.
You see again, state investment. And Akwa Ibom State is making good profit out of that Ibom Air transport they are doing. So there are other, I think I need to even talk to the governor of my own state.
Even my own state,
because state. We need to have such a thing, because it will help boost the economy of the state.
Yes.
Ibom Air is among the best as far as Nigeria is concerned today. Yet it is state-owned.
And almost all the state government, they have money enough to have
throw around. Why not just get a thing? And since they are even saying now that most of the airports are not viable, if you use your own airport and your own airline is flying it, you see, your own airline, the presence of your own airline in your airport, because of the flow of transport of people coming in and going,
it will compel
investors others to come to that place. And that way your own becomes viable. That's what people don't know some of the times. And I look at it and say, why are we just keeping quiet over this matter? If you know you are a state governor and you know that in your state you can't even purchase the planes that you can use, why not hire some and get this thing achieved? Because when you do, you're helping your people and you're helping your state. You're helping in both ways. Then again, so this private company again is Air Peace. Air Peace has been doing well. Air Peace has gone to Britain, you know, because some people were there and refused to let them move beyond Africa to get to Britain. Then Thank God those people left office eventually before people who reasoned better came in.
The person who made it possible is the current Minister of Aviation.
Exactly. So
because he had nonsense.
Yes, and because people were doing evil, because that man they were becoming sectional, and they didn't want him to get to have it. But thank God for the new man that came in and made it work. Kudos to him.
Yes.
Now, Air Peace has said that from November 1, there's a memo they sent that from November 1, they would increase air transport fares, airfares, that they will increase it by 100,000, by 100%. So if
not even 50.
No, even like going to Abuja, going to Lagos from Abuja will cost about 300,000 now. That means from November 1, it will cost 600,000. And they said this is in order to help them achieve what they want to achieve, to still remain.
That's the problem with capitalists.
Yes, So we are, and
even that we are even preaching, thanking the minister for assisting him.
Yes.
No, on the other, if you check the other side of it again, it's against the popular masses.
So we are hoping that they will review this because they just posted it. We're hoping that they will review it. Not only that, and that
if the review will be against their interest, they will not allow it.
If they do. I guess that even why they are mentioning that is that if you look at the price of the other companies, it may be so
higher than theirs.
Much higher. So that even if they did anything concerning increasing it, it may not be at par with the others. So if that is the case, we will still plead with them to reduce it a bit, even if it's a 60% increase, if they can do 50, so that it will still help people to make use of the air, even for their movements. That's it. Then looking at what you mentioned, the Air Nigeria. We truly need Nigeria Air.
Seriously.
We truly need Nigeria
We need
Air
it.
so as to help the people.
We need it.
Then I want to come back to Lagos again, because Lagos has been great. You see, the Lagos transport system by sea, they have it is anti, what do you call it now? It is against accidents, the kind of thing that will cause people to lose their lives, because they have many life jackets that are given to everybody. That is all the passengers. Compulsory. It's compulsory. All the passengers wear life jackets. In spite of the fact that it's a very, very beautiful thing, that the flow is smooth and everything, they still compel them to use life jackets.
Against danger.
Against danger. As against what we have found that happened in Benue State recently, or what happened in Taraba State recently, and all those things that keep happening in some northern states. That right now they are now saying Blue Transport, they are now going over there to try to create that they will have rangers, that is the ones that will be working there to monitor it, to ensure that everybody follows the rule the way it ought to be, And I asked the question, did you have to wait for lives to be lost? This last one there was about 200 lives, 240 lives that were lost.
We have to blame the blue economy.
Yes, do you have to wait till lives are lost before you go to look into these things and ensure that people will take action the way they ought to? Today, I hope, because it's not just after the one they just said, I hope that there is now, that they have been able to provide life jackets for those who follow. And he said that they will not do night transport any longer.
Which is very bad.
Yes.
Night transport is very bad, especially in the sea.
In the sea, yes. So if they want to maintain it, they will make sure that they provide all the things that are required. Let the rangers be there, the ones that are like marshals, the sea marshals, they call them rangers, to do that, and let life jackets be provided and such things. So, I mean, what we are after is to ensure that life is made better for the populace.
That's true.
That's just the main thing, isn't it?
So.
That's just the main thing. So the
sailors are well trained too.
Yes, yes. Make sure that it's not just people who wake up and say, I want to start driving the boat, and they give them oil, go on, and they carry it.
Smokers will be employed.
Yeah, exactly.
Drunkards will be employed.
You need to check the sanity,
the psychology,
the sanity of the people that are even handling it. Because when someone takes all the smoke that is dangerous for his system, and afterwards enters the thing, enter, let's go. He can carry people and just go and waste lives for nothing, because of the fact that nobody has even looked at his mental health in the first place,
It's
mental
important.
ability. So these are the things that need to be checked to ensure that as any system is going on, any service is going on, it is effectively handled. I want to say that there are so many things that can happen in this country to change situation. I want to take last words from you on this program before we conclude for today. And I must thank you for being here. Yes, let's talk about that.
Sincerely, a lot has happened, and Nigeria, for me, we have not gotten there, but by the grace of God, we will get there. Like we started the public transport system.
Yes, yeah.
Public transport system, it should be one major concern now of our governors. The local government is 774 local government in Nigeria. That is the only government that is closest to the people. And if they can establish this public transport system within the local communities, at their local government areas, I think Nigerians will be relieved.
Yes.
Then the air transport system, the current Minister of Aviation, I have been praising him, and I have seen, all Nigerians have seen what he's doing. Apart from the Minister of FCT, Minister of Works, himself too, he is doing a lot. He's doing quite a lot. So he should try as much as possible to see that within this his period, Nigeria Air come to stay. If Nigeria Air come to stay, Nigerians will have relief in that department as well. So our government, those who are leading us today, they should always be thinking about what benefits the masses, but not what benefits them. If we do that, I think Nigeria will change for better.
Thank you so much. If you do that, Nigeria will change for better. That is it. We hope that the authorities that be, the powers that be, have got their ears on their heads at the time like this, and they can hear us, because it's important to hear, and so as to be able to carry out this system. We have said that the FCT minister is doing well, but we know that if he also looks into these ones, as you mentioned, it will help the FCT even the more. But then, it's not just Lagos and FCT. Every other state in Nigeria,
even
should
Kano,
learn to do it. Yes, even Kano State, that's a very wide state. They can do such things. Let there be rail lines that will go through areas, and light rains for that matter. The ones that are beautiful rail trains that will come in and do such things. It will help. You can even, you know something, even now we're talking about geopolitical regions.
Yes.
They can even do geopolitical co-ownership, you know, of maybe do a railway line that will pass through all the localities in the geopolitical
regional
zone.
integration.
Yes, regional integration. They'll do it, and they will have it
using the transport system to integrate the entire
and they'll
region.
be manning it among themselves and making sure that it moves within the region, so that life is made better for people in these regions. So apart from state, if they feel that the state may be too poor to handle one, combine with the next state next to you.
That will unite the country more.
Yes, it will help.
We have many things we can do, because once there's that linkage, businessmen, women from this zone
will work together.
They will be doing things together.
Yes, they will work together. So that's how we think we will just be rounding up for today. Thank you so much for being there and for being part of it. Again, I must say thank you to Richard Oriri for being here again today.
Pleasure,
as always, you have done justice to this. We hope to have you again soon.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And I thank you, dear viewer, for being there. Not forgetting to mention too that Emmanuel Solomon helped me to be here today. So let me say thanks to him, and to Victor Chizea, to Sherif, beautiful name, isn't it? And as well to Victor Adeyeye. Thank you all for helping us see that things have worked out well today. Okechukwu Onubogu here, saying, may the best happen to us always.